680 CJOB.
Hello, Jim. How are you?
Good
this
day.
Fine Thursday before the August long weekend. Terry Fox Day here in Manitoba.
Terry Fox is my hero.
I know he is.
I don't mind saying that. When I was a boy, I thought this is amazing. And now that I'm a man, I think he is a true Canadian hero. So it's a proud day.
It is.
Yeah.
But it's not till Monday.
Well, I get. Thank you.
But I know Terry
You meant
Fox.
long weekend, yeah.
I
see
know
what you're
Terry
saying,
Fox is your hero. And you
But
know what, Jim?
Sorry, I legitimately get a little emotional.
And Jim, that's a good pick. If you're going to have like an ultimate hero, Terry Fox is a good one to have. Anyways,
Yeah.
Jets at noon is brought to you by Wash Method Car Wash, 690 St. Anne's Road. VIP take on the text line to win a VIP car wash from our good friends at Wash Method, 204-780-6868. We'll announce the winner later in the program, which is coming at you live from the Boston Pizza Studio for gourmet pizza and pasta. Bring the team to Boston Pizza. Now, it's a little bit of a strange show today. Because this rarely ever happens.
Rarely. I don't remember a time where it's happened.
I don't even think it has ever happened.
But I can't remember last week. So has it
true.
happened? You tell me.
I don't think it has. But Dylan Samberg is going to be holding his media Zoom, where we'll hear his first comments in signing the 3-year deal at $5.75 million over the next 3 years with the Winnipeg Jets. And that will happen today at 12:30. Right smack dab in the middle of Jets at noon. So we will...
well, and that's why. These things rarely happen during Jets at noon. They're usually at 10:30 in the morning.
Well, because the Winnipeg Jets are like,
afternoon.
we shouldn't mess with Jets at noon. It's the biggest show on the prairies.
We love listening. Dylan, we're really happy you signed, but we love Jets at noon. Can you not do it at 12:30? And Dylan said, to heck with those guys.
Yeah.
I'm going live at 12:30, baby.
When we do eventually get him on the show.
Big shooter move.
Yeah, that's a big shooter move. When we do eventually get him on the show, I'm really gonna grill him about that. We hope to get him in over the next couple of days.
Actually.
Yeah. So coming up at 12:30. So stay tuned. We'll be carrying that live, and you'll hear all the questions, all the answers. We'll be right here on 680 CJOB once again at 12:30. So leading up to that as well. Hey Jim, I also pulled this stat for the upcoming season. Which team travels the most of any team? And it's like a shocking amount.
Well, I thought it would be a Canadian team the further west you went.
Yeah. So you're right about that. But we'll get to the nitty-gritty about that as the show goes on. But just to piggyback off of the Dylan Samberg agreement, and you mentioned this yesterday. Josh Morrissey, Dylan DeMelo, and Dylan Samberg will all become UFAs in 3 years, 2028. Does that make you nervous? And does it kind of make you think about how the Jets have managed the cap? I'm not saying that they managed it poorly. Actually, I think they've actually managed it pretty well. But does it sort of call into question things? Because there was a time, Jim Toews, not too long ago, pre-pandemic.
It was a different time back then.
It was a different time. This is a new era.
A simpler time.
It was pretty much the same.
People are more rude now.
It was back at a simpler time. It was pretty much the same. Just like post-pandemic, everyone has less money now. So maybe it was a time of great wealth in Canada and the United States.
Huge prosperity.
There was prosperity everywhere. But 2019, 2020, there was a year where Dustin Byfuglien, Tyler Myers, Ben Sherratt, Jacob Trouba, all gone. Like that.
Yeah. Boom.
Heading into that year. This is a totally different situation, Jim Toews. But the potential's there. Now, I think Josh Morrissey is going to be a Jet for life. Dylan DeMelo, in 3 years' time, where's his game going to be at? He's a couple years older than Morrissey. And Dylan Samberg. I think the Jets and Dylan Samberg, as well, everything we've heard, there could be something in a coming together 3 years from now. I think it's a totally different situation. Of course, we all know how Byfuglien just decided that he didn't want to play anymore. Myers left in free agency. Sherratt left a few days after, I think it was on the 4th of July that year. Trouba, of course, they were forced to make that trade and did a pretty good trade acquiring Neil Pionk as well as some other assets as well. But what do you think about that, Jim? Is there any sort? Are you nervous at all about 3 members of the top 4 defensive core potentially leaving on the same year, given what's happened in the past, not too long ago with this team.
Well, here's what I think. The longest signed Jet is Neil Pionk. He's 30 years old, and he has 5 years left at $7 million. He'll be 35 years old when his contract runs out. Mm-hmm. Josh Morrissey in 3 years will be 33 years old, going into year 34. Dylan DeMelo will be 35 years old, going into age 36. I think Dylan DeMelo, if he can still play, and I'm not saying he can't at all, a stay-at-home defenseman like him can play till they're 100 sometimes. Being ridiculous, of course. He might get a 1 or 2 year deal for another year or two at 30, 35 for maybe $2 million.
Yeah.
Now's generation's $1 million. So, hey, we'd love to have you back, league minimum, but we'll give you $2 million or whatever, because that's $1 million 3 years ago. And then Dylan Samberg will be 29. So obviously you would want to sign Dylan Samberg. Josh Morrissey, I've always believed, will be a Jet for life. But at 33 years old and having made $6.25 million throughout his prime, when he could be clocking $9 million a year, that's interesting. Do you go 33 years old? Here's a 2-year deal at $20 million in 3 years from now, which is right now, I think, 8 to 9. And then once he gets through that at 35, go, okay, you're a little older now. Here's 3 more years at $5 million. But Josh Morrissey at some point is going to need to get paid. Mm. And how you make that work is not on a 33-year-old 5-year deal at $9.5 million. How you make that work is here's 2 years at $10 million. And then at 35, we'd like to keep you. But what I'm seeing here is, the other interesting thing is, those 3 have 3 years left. Pionk has 5, and after that, no Jets have been signed further than after next or 2 years from now. Hayden Fleury has a 2-year deal at $950,000. But the Logan Stanleys, the Colin Millers, the Luke Schens, I mean, those guys are retired. But look, 3 years in hockey is a lifetime.
Oh yeah.
Who knows how many injuries will pile up? Who knows who will get slower? Who knows who will be at the same level? All that. But those are 3 of arguably your 4 most important defensemen. And then at 3 years from now, like, it's ominous that all 3 are UFA status at the same year, but Dylan DeMelo is not going to make $4.9 million at 35 years old. I think Dylan Samberg is going to make more than 5.75 at 29 years old, and I have no clue what Josh Morrissey will make at 33 years old. Mm-hmm. So couple more seasons, let's say 3 straight more seasons of 70 points, top pairing guy. Mm-hmm. What do you pay him at 33?
I have no idea, but here's
because he gave up 29, 30, 31, 32 to sign. And I remember when he signed that, he's like, "Well, I mean, I like it here. I want to be here." He came off the bridge that I was talking about with Samberg. He was making 3.4 for 2 years, and before the last year of that 2-year deal went up, he got 6.25. And I remember having a conversation with him, like, free agency, he didn't want to, and he's like, I thought about it, but he goes, I love it here. I want to be a Winnipeg Jet. I like Winnipeg. Like, I like the city, and I like the proximity to my hometown of Calgary. But at the end of the day, he said it's $50 million.
The thing was, it was all those core members, Mark Scheifele, Kyle Connor, Nikolai Ehlers, at that time, were all getting paid a very similar amount.
And you have to keep in mind, you didn't know if the cap was going up.
Yeah.
You just came out of where escrow was there and everything else. $50 million back then was a big deal. I'm talking like it's not now. But you know what I mean? Like, under that scenario, you didn't know if the league was going to make more money. You didn't know if they were going to expand again. You didn't know, and it's $48 million, I believe it came to. So I don't know, but the 3 of those guys coming up at the same time, Cam, I'll reverse this topic, speaks to the window. Mm-hmm. The Jets this year, next year, and the year after that, I think, are all in. That's why I think there's trades out there. They have 9 defensemen under contract next year, and somebody has to go. So you just wave Heinola and see him go. Heinola.
That might be what happens.
Logan Stanley, you just wave and have somebody grab him. Does that help you? Or is there something out there, Cam? Is there something out there where a first-round pick, a Gustafson, like Hustler was on our show a couple weeks ago, and he said, well, Jim, I don't know a lot of trades that you're going to get top 6 players for bottom line guys and bottom line defense pairings. And I said, you're right. But if you throw in a Barlow and you throw in a Gustafson, like Mason McTavish, if they don't want to pay him $7 million and the Jets do you not give him Gustafson, but also Barlow? So there's your prospect center. Gustafson, who can fill the lineup now, albeit probably not in your top 6. Heinola, a pick, a first-round pick, like a package of 4 assets that, yes, Hustler's right. Nobody's going to give you McTavish for David Gustafson. I get that. No one's going to even give it to you if you add in a 7th, 8th defenseman. I get that. But is there a prospect and a pick, a first-round pick? And
I'm not a betting man, Jim Toth, but I think I would be surprised if there was a trade like the one you're talking about.
Well, I would be too, because it's not in the nature, and I get it.
Yeah.
Because when I talk first round picks and prospects, that's when the Jets organization goes, as to your point, for years now, that's what we have for 7 years. That's what we know we have for 7 years. It's the only thing we know we have for 7 years.
Yeah.
So picks and prospects are really tough to get out of the Jets because it's the one thing they know they can control for 7 years. But I also think you got to come out of your shell that has provided you such good success in the regular season and playoff bound for 5 years now. When you're at this level, you got to come out of your shell a little bit and take some risks to try and win it all.
Yeah, well, I'm Sean Reynolds was on the show, Sportsnet came on, and he said, I think the second line is Gustav Nyquist, Jonathan Toews, and Cole Perfetti. And I think it is.
I agree with that.
But I think we need to rethink how this team is going to approach its lines next year. Because I still think once Adam Lowry returns, they'll continue to get more ice time, right? So is that how you're defining a second line versus a third line? I just think that we need to rethink how we're thinking that, because I don't think it's going to be what you would consider to be a quote unquote like second line. It's going to be a little different.
So I think a healthy Adam Lowry and the bottom 6 can win you a championship.
Yeah.
I think they're that good, that bottom 6 and the depth they have there if an injury comes or two. Do you believe that second line can win you a Stanley Cup? Do you believe Toews, Nyquist, and Perfetti can win you a Stanley Cup?
We have no idea. Well, I don't know how they're going to perform together. I can't say. On paper, it looks like a weakness on this team. I will say that. But will it be? That will be determined.
Yeah, that's what we don't know. Maybe that's why they're waiting to make it. Maybe they're going to see 25 games of it and decide. Let's
take a break. Let's come back on the other side. Hey, I'll tell you who's going to be traveling the most in the upcoming season, 2024. 2025, 26. Oh, my God. The years, they're stacking up, Jim Toth.
The years go by.
And then after 12:30, Dylan Samberg, we will hold his media availability as he discusses how close things got to arbitration, as well as his $5 $3.25 million contract extension. Don't go anywhere.
Cameron Poitras and Jim Toth on 680 CJOB.
Call the Boston Pizza Jets at noon hotline, open 24/7, 204-780-6800. Coming for your lunch every weekday to Boston Pizza. Get a delicious main side and ice cold drink for only $15. Only at BP. The number one caller will be awarded a $50 gift certificate to Boston Pizza coming up tomorrow. Excited to give that away. Got a bunch of great callers. The 32 teams will travel more than 1.3 million miles next season, Jim Toth.
That's a lot.
Pittsburgh and Nashville will be heading to Sweden, and the Edmonton Oilers will be taking a over 7,100-mile trip across North America next year.
You know, I keep thinking about, I think it was Sam Gagner. No, sorry, Joffrey Lupul.
Yeah.
Joffrey Lupul was an Oiler for a couple of years, and then he went to play for Philadelphia. And he has that deadly quote of, when I went on the road in Edmonton, I was in a hotel every night. When I went on the road in Philadelphia, I was in my own bed every night.
Edmonton will travel the most, more than anyone else, at almost 54,500 miles. Winnipeg will travel the 12th most at 43,500 miles. The fewest, the New York Islanders, 28,000 and a half. Dylan Samberg will be with us when we come back.
At noon with Cameron Poitras and Jim Toth on 680 CJOB.
Jets at noon brought to you by Wash Method Car Wash, 690 St. Anne's Road. VIP take on the text line to win a VIP car wash from our good friends at Wash Method, 204-780-6868. We'll announce the winner later in the program, which is coming at you live from the Boston Pizza Studio for gourmet pizza and pasta. Bring the team to Boston Pizza. Dylan Samberg, we await the beginning of his media availability following the signing of a 3-year contract an extension with the Winnipeg Jets worth $5.75 million per season. As soon as that begins, we will take you right to that live. Download the Jets at Noon podcast free now on Apple, Spotify, face-to-face on YouTube, or wherever you find your favorite podcasts, with plenty of memorable Jets talk and episodes and special content exclusively found there, so you can take Jets at Noon wherever you go. And in today's edition...
Oh, we got a text. They want to hear the wash method.
Well, so sorry. Yeah, Jim, you gotta keep on top of this
Great way to
stuff.
spend the long weekend. If you're staying in town, plan a little romantic evening, a wash method.
Yeah. We got a text message. Here's from Lori. It says, hey, guys, when your show first started, I thought, how the bleep are they going to do a Jets show in the summer? But you do! ! And I listen. And when I heard, thank you very much. He said, Katie St. Germain on the Hal Anderson show this morning. I thought she performed at the Jets game next season. Very good. Well, thank you for that, Lori. Appreciate that.
Yeah, she's performing at halftime tomorrow at the Bombers game.
Ooh, exciting. This texter says, hey, guys, talk to me about Kieran Walton. How Jets fans can't be elated about this prospect. 19 years old, 6'6", 212 pounds, 92 points, 66 games on a team with no one around him. That one from Howard.
This is a big boy.
I mean, again, he's a guy that has to develop. I mean, it's going to be interesting to see where his game goes next year. And of course, there's going to be another year for the Manitoba Moose. But it's looking like it was a very good. All right. And we'll take you now live to Dylan Samberg and the media availability.
All right, we'll get going with Mitchell Kling. Go ahead, Mitch.
Thanks, Gregor. Congratulations, Dylan, first off. I guess the question would be, how nervous were you getting as it kind of got closer to that July 30th date, and how relieved were you when it was all done and you can continue moving on as a Winnipeg Jet for another 3 years at least?
Yeah, thank you. Obviously very excited about it. Excited to be back in Winnipeg for 3 more years. Yeah, there's some nerves that go into it, especially as you get down to the deadline and whatnot. But I'm glad we were able to agree on a deal and get things moving forward.
We'll go next to Carter Brooks. Go ahead, Carter.
Hey, Dylan, congrats on the deal. I would love to hear a little bit about the logistics behind this. Obviously, with a set date and arbitration hearing, how does that work? Were you back home? Did you travel? Did you have to go to Toronto? I guess we came pretty close to the deadline. So how did the logistics look for you on your end?
Yeah, I mean, for the most part, the off season, I was back here in Duluth, and then took off for Toronto on Monday night late. And it was all new for me in this sense. Like, I'd never gone through a process like this, so there's a lot to learn, which was, but it was cool to learn it all. And then we eventually agreed on a deal that Tuesday night before the hearing. So it was good.
Go next to Dave Minuk from Legal Curve. Go ahead, Dave.
Thanks, Gregor. Congrats, Dylan, on the deal. And just from your perspective, what made 3 years make sense rather than maybe something longer term?
Well, you always want to have longer term. Everyone wants that, but sometimes it just doesn't work out that way with, both sides just can't agree. And, with the 3 years, I still have some time. I have 1 year of proving myself, and I want to continue to add more years onto that and prove that I belong here. And I'm excited to do it in Winnipeg for 3 more years. And, hopefully later down the road that continues to go, and I can stay there longer.
Go next to Jamie Thomas. Go ahead, Jamie.
Thanks a lot, Gregor. Dylan, what are you most proud of your development over the past since you've joined the National Hockey League?
Well, it's obviously it's a tough league and everyone wants to get there, and it's hard to make it to the league, but it's even harder to stay there. So I'm happy with being able to stay there and continuing to grow. And I feel like each year that goes by, I become more confident. And this last year with moving up to that second pair and logging more minutes, playing against tougher competition, I was happy with how I handled it, and I'm excited for next year. And I want to continue to grow on that second pair. And playing alongside Neil Pionk has been awesome, and all those guys have been great to me over the years. So they've been a huge help.
Go next to Derek Van Diest from NHL.com. Go ahead, Derek.
Hey, Dylan. I just wanted to ask you about this group and the importance of trying to keep this group together. And you guys are onto something special here. It's just a matter of trying to get over that hump. Just the thought of being with this group for another 3 years, and how important was that to you? And how do you feel about the team moving forward?
Yeah, I mean, obviously very excited to be back with this group, as we showed last year during the regular season, being the best team. And, I think along with like some of our new additions this year, I think it'll be good. With adding Schenner last year, I think he was another big important role for us with being that another voice to hear from. And, he's had a lot of experience, won Stanley Cup. So that was huge. But we have a good group here. Everyone's very close. And, I'm really excited to get back and get to work.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Go back to Dave Minute. Go ahead, Dave.
Gregor, Dylan, just a question about Jonathan Toews. I mean, you add a player like that. You talk about guys who've won Stanley Cups. We hear the excitement from Adam Lowry. Davis Payne was talking about how excited Adam Lowry is to add someone like that to the group. I know your experience against him is limited. I think you only played the one game back in your first full season. But from your perspective, what does adding someone like that you can learn from mean to you?
Well, I think it's huge. Obviously, a guy with experience and another voice to hear from, like with Laus, Schenner, and now Toews. I think it'll be great. And obviously one of those guys that I grew up watching, and it's very cool. I'm excited to meet him. And, I think this is a good thing for him, and I think he's excited to get back home. So, we're excited about that, all of our new additions, and, hopefully we'll continue to go further this year.
Go back to Carter Brooks. Go ahead, Carter.
Hey again. Just a question on Winnipeg, the city, the location. You are playing somewhere relatively close to your hometown. You've come to kind of learn a little bit about the ins and outs of Winnipeg, what it's like. What have you enjoyed about living in Manitoba, and what are you looking forward to going forward here as this contract plays out?
Yeah, no, I've definitely found that there's a lot of good hole in the wall restaurants around Winnipeg, especially Italian restaurants. So that's been good. And it reminds me a lot of home. Just less trees up there, but everything, the weather's the same from where I grew up, and everything's pretty much the same, and everyone's really been nice and welcoming, which is great. And and then looking forward to the season. I mean, I think we have a really good group here and a really good chance at making something special. And I think we proved that last year during the regular season, and getting past that first round, I think was a huge stepping stone for us. And I'm excited and really looking forward to next season.
Appreciate it.
Go back to Dave Minute. Go ahead, Dave.
Last one from you, Dylan. But just in terms of excitement from, Derek, I asked you about the group and that, but what does it mean to you when you see a guy like Gabriel Velarde sign on for that long term? What does it say about this core group and the chance to win a Stanley Cup here?
Well, it shows that, guys want to stay here. And, with that group we had last year, we're very tight knit and very close and had a fun year. It's always fun when you're winning. And, we want to continue to do that, but it goes to show that, guys that sign those longer term deals and they want to be around here, want to be around this group and this organization. We're treated very well, and, everyone loves it up there. And, just very excited to get her going.
Thanks a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Alrighty, well, it looks like everything that we have for you, Dylan. So thanks very much for taking the time today, and
all right,
thanks everybody for joining us.
Thanks, Carter. We'll wrap that up. I want to hear from you. What did you think of that availability there with Dylan Samberg? 204-780-6868, 204-780-6860. I got some notes. I want to talk about some things that he said. Jim,
I'm a little surprised.
I am too. Let's take a break. Let's come back. 204-780-6868. I want to hear what you think too as well. Miss your chance to get your thoughts on the show today. We'll call the Boston Pizza Jets and Noon hotline, open 24/7, 204-780-6800. Coming for lunch every weekday to Boston Pizza. Get a delicious main side and ice cold drink for only $15 only at BP. The number one caller will be awarded a $50 gift certificate to Boston Pizza tomorrow. We'll be right back.
Noon with Cameron Poitras and Jim Toth on 680 CJOB.
So we just heard from Dylan Samberg, his first comments in signing the medium term, I would say. 3 years is medium term. Wouldn't you say that, Jim Toth?
Medium, yes.
5.75
well,
mil.
especially, I've been saying this for a couple of weeks now, but nobody seems to want players or teams the 7-year deal. Now, the 8-year deal is going away, and Blake, the rookie, after 1 year in Carolina, took that.
Yeah.
He took an 8-year deal.
Mitch Marner signed 8, which is why they gave up Nicholas Roy, or they gave him up, yeah.
But, like, nobody seems to be doing the 7. But, look, did Dylan Samberg want a 7?
I don't know.
He said, I wanted long-term, right?
Yeah, well.
Now, which player wouldn't? But.
Well, that's what he said. He wanted long-term. When he was asked why 3 years, he said, but both sides couldn't agree. Still feels like he has lots to prove, but hopefully he can stay longer after that period of time. Dylan Samberg is going into this with I just have 3 more years to prove myself, but I have no intention of going to anywhere else.
That's how I take it, Cam. And I would say, look, we focus so much on the Jets arbitration 2.5 because you start low, right?
Yeah.
I don't think they were offering that. I think they were offering 4.5, maybe 5, 4.75 or something.
Mm-hmm.
He came in at 6, right? So if he wants 6 on a 1-year deal and he took 5.75 on a 3-year deal, you have to think when he said, I wanted a long-term deal, both sides couldn't agree. That had to be in the 7s, right?
Yeah.
If he's asking 6 on a 1-year arbitration deal and he took 5.75 on a 3, he's not taking 6 on a 6-year deal.
Mm-hmm. So
he's probably asked for 7 or more on a long-term 6 or 7-year deal. And so going back to the Jets' perspective, I can see how, this year, do I think 5.75 is a little much for Samberg? I was going to pay him 4.5 to 5.
Yeah.
So 5.75 a little bit. But if he continues to grow, like he said, and he's only had one solid season,
as he mentioned, yeah,
because of injuries and stuff. But I would think that I don't mind the Jets going, if you want 7.5 over 6 or 7 years, let's just see where you are in 3 years.
Just also spoke about the nerves in getting down to getting a deal done. Of course, happy for it to be wrapped up. But he was in Toronto on Monday, got into Toronto late Monday, leading up to Wednesday's arbitration deal.
He left Duluth Monday night, he said.
Yeah, and then the deal was cut probably late Tuesday because that's when and then it was early Wednesday morning that it was announced that the deal had got done. So obviously the deal was done in Toronto on that Tuesday night.
That's a move, right? That's a move of, okay, it's Monday night. They didn't wait till Tuesday morning. They said, get on a plane.
Well, maybe that's why this arbitration system actually does work. Because it forces them to sit face to face and come to a determination.
Well, once you get on a plane, I think more often than not, you go to arbitration.
Yeah.
I mean, when we talked about having him on the show, the Jets told us that he's traveling back from Toronto. You and I both looked at each other so it did go to the
close.
9th hour, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So, and that's what I mean by Monday night. So there's an entire day there where you're wondering, and then you get the call from your agent and go, you better get on a plane.
That's kind of a pain. I mean, I don't know, what's the situation? They probably had to go to Minneapolis and then go to Toronto from there.
Unless it's a private jet.
Yeah.
I don't know if the agent's booking that.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know the logistics about that.
I mean, some players I would assume would get even if you're living in Duluth.
Well, if it's going to arbitration, Sam, I don't think he's worth the price.
If Brad Marchand or somebody who's made $90 million already, then you might say, well, book a private one and get me to Toronto in 2 hours or whatever.
Proud of his development. As you mentioned before, 1 year. Really, he's only had 1 year under his belt. I mean, with Brendan Dillon leaving, going to New Jersey, really opened up a spot for him. And he spoke about his time playing alongside Neil Pionk. I mean, he's really thrived there in that position. The longer minutes, the tougher opponents. But still, lots to prove. And he certainly feels that way. Yeah.
And look, he has to have a really good year this year.
Yeah.
And I don't see why he wouldn't. But over the next 3 years, if he has a down season for whatever reason, you never know, right? But here's a great way to put this, Cam. Somebody texted us yesterday on the show, and I apologize, listener, I forgot who it was, but somebody texted us and said, is he on the Olympic team next year? And I don't think so. But in 4 years from now, yeah.
Yeah.
And I could see him being a reserve on the U.S.
Yeah, I definitely could.
He is that good, in my opinion. And he's played at the World Championships before and excelled.
Well,
he's put up points
especially
there.
on an Olympic team. You got goal scorers. Like, you have goal scorers.
But you also have Jacob Slavin.
Yeah, but you need guys to step into a defensive role. Like, I'd rather have, you're going to have your offensive defenseman, right? You're going to have 2 or 3 of those, but your other guys, you want lockdown dudes, man. Like, that's what you're looking for.
I'm not going 6 Quinn Hughes, right?
No, you don't need that. But anyways, I mean, excited to be back in Winnipeg. Wants to stay here in longer, past the 3 years is my takeaway from it. And excited about the prospects of where this team can do and what they can do this year. Let's squeeze some text.
Outstanding hole-in-the-wall Italian restaurants.
That is true. I know of a few of them. Brian texts the show and says, would have been nice if they expanded on the longer deal questions. He made it sound like he wanted to go longer. Were numbers even exchanged on 6+? I'm sure they were exchanged. I think in any negotiation like this, particularly when somebody wants to stay long-term like Dylan Samberg, I have to go ahead and assume that they were.
Usually in my experience with these, the agent, the team will sit down and go, here's where we see you. This is what we think you are. This is where we think you'll be. Here's a 6-year. Here's a 3-year. Here's a 1-year.
Mm-hmm.
Now we want to do, or if they don't want to even touch a 1-year, they'll go, here's a 2-year bridge. Here is a 4-year longer term, and then here's we'd like to lock you up. And then usually the player comes back with, I would like to be locked up, but if we can't, and then the agent, I don't think even offers 2 or 1 or whatever.
Yeah.
Unless the agent looks at him and goes, look, he's got 1 really good year. It would be really good for you to have another 2 solid years on a bridge deal and then capitalize. Like, there's all that, but that's how the team usually has more than 1 deal offered.
Let's give away that VIP text. It's going to go to Howard for his text message about Kieran Walton earlier on that sparked that conversation. So appreciate that one from Howard, and congratulations. You are our VIP texter. That's going to have a VIP car wash from our good friends at Wash Method down at 690 St. 90s Road. Only got a couple seconds, but I want to squeeze this text in. He said, I said that yesterday they were paying Dylan Samberg too much, and you guys said, players deserve to get paid, and now you're changing your tune to what I would have paid him, 4.5.
I'm not changing my tune at all.
I don't think so whatsoever.
I look, I think 5.75 is a win for him. I think I think Dylan Samberg is a such a good defending defenseman. He deserves 4.5 to 5.
And Texter, I thought if that's what you were specifically trying to say, well, then I misread it, because I thought that you were talking about salaries in the NHL as a whole.
And which was
the reason of why I said that.
2 years of unrestricted free agency, that's why it goes up to 5.75.
And you can go back and listen to me. I thought he was between 4.5 and 5.5, and he got a little bit more than that.
To the Texter's point, then the team needs to go to arbitration, give him 4.5 for 1 year, and see what he gets next year. He's going to get more than 5.75.
Jim Toth, take you all the way till 2 o'clock. Thank you very much, Carter, for producing the show. We'll be back same time tomorrow, Free for All Friday. See ya.